you know, how will the lanes go? We'll have to see as we get into game number 2. But, you know, the lane here is Tusk Slardar against what theoretically should be Anti-Mage Warlock. Should Anti-Mage get out of this easy? Or is this actually a tough lane for him, disguised as maybe something that maybe doesn't look like it?
It shouldn't be easy to kill him once he gets Blink, but as soon as you use Blink, you can't walk up again, or Slardar will then kill you. So you should be able to pick up a CS lead in that off lane, and then once Slardar is far enough ahead on his own, Schofield is free to roam around on this Tusk, make plays, stack for Shadow Fiend, or try to slow down this Tinker. I said Tinker was good at dealing with lanes, but you still are a little bit of a slower hero where you want to get, you know, something like Kaya, Blink before you start doing things, and then you go for that Ags. That is a slower pace, same as the Anti-Mage. Even if this ends up being a fighting Anti-Mage, which I kind of think it will be, you know, we'll find out.
And Schofield doesn't even get this this bounty rune, and now he's just choosing to lose all his mana, and Schofield, this is a
he's
problem.
Fine.
He's
this is
fine now, but that was
this
you
is
just
Schofield
gave up
classic.
all your life and mana, and he has no regen.
Schofield classic right there. No, you're right. That was probably a worse trade than he was expecting. At least he got the bounty rune, though.
No, he didn't get the bounty rune.
Oh no. Okay, well.
Crystal's got the bounty rune. Schofield now has no health and mana. He's buying a mango, but that... Oh, sure. I don't know how well that works for you.
I don't think he cares too much because he's got boots. He planned to creep drag from the start and just get the lane in a good spot for the Slardar. So in that sense, he can still do what he needs to do. Which Toby knows that's his plan. We've got some
so he's bringing the creeps to him.
Alternate laning going on here.
Schofield's like, oh no, dude, my idea was to bring the creeps over there. Where are we going? Where is this?
It's like, fine, I'll catch this creep wave. What you gonna do about that?
This doesn't help Slardar at all.
Oh, this is so weird. 2 creeps went to the lane, 2 moved around. I think this is okay still. It's gonna shove into Slardar, and you can't really stop this because it's so many creeps. It is it's a bit funny.
It's interesting. It left 2 range creeps, that's for sure. Okay, cool.
As long as those are alive, it will push. So that's, I think it's okay for. It's not a pudge getting 3 kills off the bat, but I think this will be okay to start.
Mid lane not looking too fun for Analog at the moment with his health so low, but he is 11-3 on BZM to the 8-2 of Analog. I guess the question becomes, does bottom end up being any better? Schofield being a Toby's courier, and can Yuma really, I guess, find, honestly, something that allows him to maybe move over in these lanes? Top lane's in trouble, and it's first blood for this anti-mage. Toby's locked up. Yuma, he did come over. That was what I was maybe expecting, but Schofield under the tower, 1 shot from dead, still looking to turn back. He's getting his attention. He blinks out of the tower.
Snowball.
Oh, now he's got the snowball. You just got baited, son. Oh my God.
Dude, you look at this Tusk, you're like, he's got no man, he's got no health, he's got brown boots. Surely I can get him. What a calculation there.
Wow.
All right,
is that fishing line coming out of this Tusk? Because he just baited him so hard.
It all starts at the bounty rune. He's like, guys, check this out. I'm gonna lose all my mana and health to this anti-mage. It's gonna bait him in later. Get ready to rotate on him. He knew it. It was all part of the plan. All right, maybe I spoke too soon. Maybe this will exceed the Pudge Bane lane.
I don't know how. I don't know what. That's so crazy. Schofield just played with his emotions, like, oh, you've got this kill, definitely.
It could have worked out. So Anti-Mage's build is double Wraithband into Helm of the Dominator, but he had been saving money to see if he could go straight Helm of the Iron Will, so that he at that point he just doesn't care about Slardar's harass. So I think this is a creative change to the build. It is more Helm Dom, but you know, that's fine. That's the meta now. But because he greeted out to try to decide, that play ends up not working out. And that's why you don't skip early items, guys. I know all the pub players like to go straight Radiant, straight Battle Fury. This is why you get the small stuff.
That is true. You gotta build up, not just jump to the biggest items. Schofield now level 2. He's got that snowball to work with to try and have some connections here with maybe Crystallis. Oh gosh. Bottom lane, especially with Yuma coming in and getting 2 kills, feels great. Why not, right? And they're actually thinking about going in. Yuma's up here again. He's here to go and get Toby. They've got that at least, and Salas, he's got Blink, but he needs to be able to blink out of here. The damage coming in, he blinked back towards Yuma. There's so many places to go. That wasn't the right one.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised by that. To be fair, you can blink probably to the left, but you get run down. I am. What?
Analog?
That wasn't even Requiem. That's not supposed to happen. That's why you picked the Tinker, so you don't have to deal with this.
Oh my.
Heroic. Showing up strong for game number 2.
Yeah, it wasn't just a Pudge game, guys.
We were getting distracted by the top lane, so I was gonna say mid's actually going quite like to plan. Like Tinker was getting his farm. Round 3.
Blood grenade. Yuma's got another kill. I mean, this isn't Pudge 6-0-3 at 8 minutes, but it's 4-0-1.
South American Dota. Let us brawl, dude. Laning is for suckers. Let's get into some fights. These movements have been really good from Heroic.
To go through Twin Gate.
The downside, though, is that, of course, when you brawl this much, you're not farming as well. So the gold lead actually isn't that high, even though it's 6-2.
But for them, like, to get this advantage as they go for Saksa, Schofield's here with KJ, they're going to look to get another kill. Ooh, the shards are on the money, and that Wrath of Nature comes in. Analog gets that kill into Saksa. Crystallis is dead to Whisper! What? The Whisper's alone!
Oh, that's why you picked the Slardar. Yeah, there was a big nature.
Wrath of Nature did a lot of damage.
Plus, you see the bashes and the stuns from the Slardar. That's why that pick is really good versus anti-mage. Like, go ahead and burn my mana. Like, whatever. I'm just gonna walk at you and attack.
Dude, this is...
Yuma, another gank going on here.
And they're 33. He's got Burrow Strike, so he does find some distance, but the shards are on the money. But Schofield's under a tier 2 tower. That's a little bit dangerous, but the raises. Oh, man. Getting the kill on a Toby. Let me swipe this shrine, get myself some experience. All you guys came over, and you get nothing for your efforts.
It's going to lead to a really big level difference once they secure their own Wisdom Shrine.
What I was going to get at, it's like, yeah, the experience isn't that big, but the net worth isn't that big of a lead, but the experience is massive. Like Whisper now being level 6, having this availability of going into the Corrosive Haze where Crystallis, he wants to blink away, he wants to be able to survive, but he's gonna get hit pretty damn hard as he's gonna try and fight. He's got the help of BZM, who comes over to maybe look for Whisper, but they don't really have the damage, and he does have a Lotus ready to go.
Thank goodness Crystallis did this build, though. He has 2 Wraith Bands, a Helm of the Iron Will, and a Spark of Courage. If he didn't have those, I think he would die there. But it looks close into a Slardar, which is actually quite impressive for an anti-mage at level 5. It does mean your farming is slower, though.
Not close to 6 at all. Oh, the double bounties just swiped.
Oh, that's disappointment right there. You blink in and you're like, wait, where'd
Were
they
there
go?
2 bounty runes here 2 seconds ago? Guys?
Well, so, as Tusk takes out the observer in your jungle, you now know where those bounties went.
Hey, you picked this up? No. I did not. They've been stolen.
Still a pretty even win probability from Dota Plus, which I will say, due to the rapid movements from Heroic, it is the farm affecting the game.
They're trying to get Yuma. And they're in this, like, no man's land where it's by the tower, but it's not very close to the tower. And Yuma, Photic Shield, not going to matter. So they get the kill on the Nature's Prophet. That's pretty good. Analog is over here, though. Here come the raises. Here come the snowballs all the way across. It hit 3 heroes. They'll look for the Requiem. They've got it. They should be able to get a kill here on the 33. They'll look over at Soxa. Nowhere for him to go with the shards placed perfectly. It's a 3-man avalanche and a toss as KJ does end up dead. But Analog gets a double kill as he kills Soxa. A lot of heroes low. Maybe if they had a +1 of BZM and or the anti-mage, they could have cleaned up on the side of Tundra.
Nah, that's true, but unfortunately Tinker's still level 8, so no real way to join a fight that ends up behind the towers like that. I think you're okay with that in the end, though, as Tundra, because you are dragging this game out, and because they don't rotate, Anti-Mage and Tinker are farming very efficiently in that time, helping to maintain the even gold game compared to game 1, which I think they're approaching 3,000 at this point.
Schofield, actually Analog.
That's a huge kill.
Dead. And Schofield's gonna die too. Good movements there from Tundra after losing that fight over bottom. Definitely the difference here because they've got more kills than they did last game already on the side of Tundra.
Oh my goodness. You're right. Game 1 really was pretty despair for them, wasn't it?
It was, and now Crystallis is kind of getting this open lane. And you want this Blink Dagger ready on Slardar, but he's still a little ways off of it. He would love to have this ready to go. And then they could probably smoke and use that movement, have that follow-up of the Tusk to get most kills, truthfully. 33 blinking behind the tower. He's got his blink. That Sand King game last game was pretty despair for BZM.
This time going a lot better. He got his Kaya first, halfway to the blink. We'll start seeing the Tinker move around a little bit more then, because it should line up with the level 2 ultimate as well.
The biggest thing right now is, like, yeah, you had that experience lead you were moving around as a lot of these heroes as KJ loses his arcane boots that were coming his way. But now you've lost the experience lead, you don't have the gold lead anymore, and you're missing out on a lot of things. And bottom lane KJ forced to use that borrowed time as Anti-Mage does come down here, and they are going to grab themselves a tier 1 tower looking to be uncontested. Slardar grabs the one up top. He's got this Blink Dagger flying out. And I would expect Heroic to make a move now that they've got this Blink Dagger on Slardar.
Yeah, you have to regain control of this game. And not that you have to win right away, but you do need to be building an actual gold lead. You need to get more objectives. The Roshan, the Tormentor should be pretty straightforward with a Slardar down the line a few minutes. And you need to start getting these kills. Because otherwise, Tundra is still fairly happy with the way things are going. Just drag the game out. Should be easier the longer it goes.
Slardar not really looking to make a move with this Blink Dagger. He's not by the team, and maybe a little bit surprising that they want to sit back and just farm up. At least Blink Dagger, the idea is usually to play kind of aggressive like that. They do have a stack on this Ancient Camp. Toby just kind of sitting here mid, waiting to find something. The team fight here is pretty big for Tundra, right? Epicenter, Chaotic Offering. You've also got, you know, March of the Machines that's going to be coming down. Tiny with Avalanche. That's pretty decent AoE to get some lockdown. There's a lot going on for Tundra that checks a lot of boxes in a fight.
Is that what's scaring Heroic right now? Because I'm not sure what... I would have thought they would group up around this Blink Dagger, but they seem content to keep waiting. And I'm checking items. Yashikaya is the closest thing for Shadow Fiend, but that is still, you know, a bit further away. So I guess they were worried that Tundra was moving as a group, which they were for a while. Looks like they're grouping up now, so maybe just not wanting to take a direct fight into Tundra, looking more for the smaller pickoffs.
They're never going to find the Tinker, so I guess your best option is 33, which they do have vision on, but they're seeing that he's going top. And now you've kind of used this smoke. You're going to try and go through the Twingate. You might just show up right into the hands of Sand King. He hasn't moved just yet. Now he finally goes off that step. But again, they're still looking for something with this smoke.
They caught sight of Sand
might have been
King.
spotted for a second. Blink, Bash, Slithering Crush. But a Burrow Strike away, 33. He is spotted, but they will get this kill to start. Running in is Saksa, and that'll give them a potential +1. Schofield with the shards well placed. Trying to get away. A couple of miscoils, and then one more shot from Whisper. That'll secure them both kills.
Even the Tusk did, I think, 900 damage to the Sand King there. The amplified damage from, or sorry, the corrosive haze, old habits, corrosive haze from Slardar, amplifying the physical damage from the Tusk. That's the synergy we were looking to see, and what I think they need to keep doing to keep the tempo fast. And it shows that they don't need every single hero involved. You can just bring smaller numbers. Natures didn't even show up to that.
Which is a little bit surprised, but Yuma was, I think, farming some stacks. He was more willing to kind of sit back and, I think, finish off this Mjolnir first. They need to parlay this into something more, right?
Yeah, I do worry. I feel that Tinker has his Staff of Wizardry. He's making his way to the Aghanim smoothly. I think once you have that Ags, you're really strong. At least until they get BKBs, right? There's a dip at that point. But you are pretty all in on this right-click lineup that the Aghanims is quite good versus.
Is Whisper holding gold thinking to just go straight BKB?
Could be.
He's got this Orchid queued up, and
it's very similar to last
issue
game where if you have the BKB, it's very difficult to die. But I think the Orchid is also quite good at giving you the extra lockdown to get a kill on the Anti-Mage or the Tinker.
We'll say the reason I thought it worked so well in the previous game was the fact that Analog was also getting a BKB at the same time. Oris Punch, Shards, Whisper looking to come back in. They use the Requiem, a lot used here. It will get them both supports at the end of the day, as Yuma steals that with a Wrath of Nature. 33 was maybe thinking about joining in. His closest Ags probably didn't want to lose the gold if he ended up dying. He'll just grab that Ags and TP away. But there's the Battle Fury now for the Anti-Mage, and you're only up 1,000 gold for Heroic, and things are going to start to speed up as this Anti-Mage out of the laning phase has just been free farming.
With that said, he still is at the bottom of the net worths of the core heroes, so there is still some time before he gets really scary. And there's also the element that the heroic heroes don't actually have that much mana, nor care too much about mana. So it's not like Anti-Mage suddenly has a super free high damage game. It's more that he can enter fights and split this map fairly well, and they're not going to have the best time at dealing with it due to the lack of control from multiple heroes, which is why I'm still pretty open to this Blink Dagger. This Orchid to combo with the Blink if he wants to go that route. Still hasn't committed one way or the other on the Slardar.
I think if you're holding this much gold at this point, you're probably going into the BKB as we watch KJ die there to BZM. Ooh, yeah, he's unqueued the Orchid and it's just BKB now. The purchase still has to be made. Tusk also looking for a Blink Dagger. A lot of mobility items on Heroic being built. No, okay. I was gonna say Analog was looking at a BKB too, or a Blink Dagger 2, and now he's just going straight BKB, and I think that's what decided the timing, right? If you're gonna go Blink Dagger here on Analog, I might as well go Orchid, but if we're gonna have this BKB timing that kind of lines up with each other, as Nature's Prophet is also building that BKB, then Whisper's like, all right, I'll buy BKB.
I think it also lets you... Blink Dagger plus Orchid is more for pickoffs. Same with the Blink Dagger, potentially on, like, say, the Shadow Fiend. But if you feel you're on a bit more of a timer, or that you want to force some upcoming fights, which, for example, as 20 minutes is getting close, Tormentor and Roshan, which we've seen many teams snowball off of if you're able to secure both, right? That's what the BKBs are good for. Like, you can't avoid us anymore. We don't need to hunt you down with the catch and the lockdown. These are the static objectives. You come to us, and we're going to beat you to death with our BKBs, or you're going to give us free objectives. And then we're going to go beat you to death in your base, because that's step 2 if you can't stop us.
They've got a decent Roche lineup here with the Corrosive Haze, the minus armor, right? For some reason, the Warlock's Courier is just sitting in Roche, by the way.
I like it. You can't see in the pit, but you're calling that. The Dota players can't resist killing a free courier, so if they go in for Roche, they're gonna kill it, and then you'll know.
He's fortunate enough they're taking the long way, and that Obs is placed down. Soxa's looking for the blink into the Avalanche tossback, but Yuma just skirts disaster. At least for now, he's actually going up, and they're following him. They kind of have it. Oh boy, yeah, Yuma. Mjolnir armor, but tossed back all the way to the epicenter coming through. He's doing some decent damage. Chaotic Offering also has to get forced. Yuma's dead here, but what can Heroic get out of this? They've got at least 33. The Requiem flies in. That's going to be a dead Toby. They've got BZM TPing away, and they will at least escape on Soxa with the blink. Not the worst thing, all things considered, is a lot had to get committed to get the kill on a Yuma.
I think that's actually pretty good, even though they lose 2 heroes, because Tinker and Anti-Mage straight back to farming. Well, I mean, Anti-Mage was never there, but that means 2 heroes are immediately efficiently farming. Okay, you actually do end up losing the Tiny at the end, which should now open up Roche. So Heroic's not too sad about that either, but I feel that this is still in line with Tundra. Drag out the game. We're gonna be okay. The longer this goes, we will buy our armor items, we will scale up, we will have the mobility that they can't deal with.
The shard is quite nice, but all this, and now it's actually the side of Tundra are the ones going for Roche.
Thanks to the Aghanims on the Tinker, you can do this.
Quickest, but yeah, like you said, this is the Aghanim Scepter. They can try and make a play. KJ's the only one here. He's got a sentry down. He kind of is aware of this. Yuma's going to try and TP over, but Sox is in the vicinity. Slither Crush comes in with the BKB. They're going to try and get their hands on it. Crystallis is forced to blink away. BZM, he leaves for now. They're in on a Roche, and this is just going to be, hey, thanks for doing 95% of the work. We're going to try to get Aegis. 33 tries to go and snatch that one, but he's not going to be so fortunate. Analog gets the Aegis. 33 is dead. Soxa falls. Double kill for Yuma, as that is 3 heroes that fall by the wayside, with Warlock also joining them. Crystallis is going to pick up this shrine. Uh-oh, he's staying. Now, Snowball. But do you have the gap close? No, you do not. The blink was on cooldown. No Walrus Punch. And honestly, nobody behind him anyway.
I love the idea from Tundra. You know they're doing Tormentor. You want to try to steal away the Roche. Sneaky play. If the game had been going a little bit better for you, you finish that Roche, you get out. But it takes just long enough for the heroes to show up, and this is where choosing to get the BKBs really paid off for Heroic.
Yes.
You just don't have the damage to deal with any of them, so they win the fight, they get the objectives, and what Tundra had been maintaining at a very even game, it was 1K difference for a very long time, suddenly shoots up to 9,000 gold lead for Heroic. This is the lead they finally wanted to have.
It's up there, and at this point, still, you know, Anti-Mage isn't much of a threat at this time. Oh, that is going to be rough, and he's not going to be a threat for another 50 seconds. That is a great play That is a blink in there with the Walrus Punch. Having the Slardar, Yuma was already in position and slowing down Anti-Mage for even longer. Amplify damage for Yuma. And they've got their BKBs back up. If they could find BZM, that would be pretty devastating for Tundra. It's not the easiest. They don't have analog in the area. He's going back to that Blink Dagger. Sardar picked up that BKB and he's looking for the Orchid. Oh no, Nullifier now. Never mind. I was gonna say, is it a little late to be getting Orchid?
Yeah, it's a little late at this point. But the Nullifier will still be really useful to have. In particular versus the Tinker. Remove the shield. Can they get this Sand King?
This is forward, but he's really not in danger, right? He's got BKB if he needs it.
Yeah, fast response from Soxa, keeping his teammates alive. But Heroic is just biding their time till the Blink Dagger finished on the Shadow Fiend, which he now has. And I believe they're gonna regroup here and pick their favorite objective, which I don't know if it matters too much which tier 2 they go for, but they do have some vision top, so that's probably the easiest place to start.
You've got this ward that just spotted 33. This ward in the river that spots him for a second. KJ gonna pick up an Invis rune and they throw an Avalanche out. Finally get a Sentry down, but he does have the borrowed time. TP attempts. Are they gonna kill? Yeah, they're gonna kill.
Oh, no!
No!
All right, no one saw that. Look away.
Oh no. Oh. Anyway, 25 minutes into the game, they're smoked up on Heroic.
That's the green light. There's no
find
Warlock.
BZM.
Find
First
BZM.
hit bash, Slither and Crush. Now he's on the low ground. They're looking for a Requiem. They've got the Fear, but where is he? Where's BZM?
Oh my god, no way.
Oh my god. They are going to find 33, but he's not even dead yet. Now the lasers start flying around with BKB being popped here by Yuma. And they leave on this Heroic lineup. Or at least most of them left. Analog kind of stayed nearby. He doesn't have a BKB, and he's going to die for this. He's got an Aegis, but the rest of the team isn't exactly here. Abaddon's on his way over. They're going to need Schofield to try and get a save here with a snowball, but Analog chased by Crystallis. Walrus Punch comes in. Wrath of Nature flies through. They start to back away for a second because Whisper's on the back lines looking over at this BZM Tinker. He goes ethereal. He TP's out. They get the kill on Toby. They're going to toss over this Shadow Fiend. They still want to get Soxa, but he finds a blink into the trees as the rest of the team is off to the side. Crystallis as well as BZM is behind the side of Heroic, but they're not going to go continue to chase this Radiant lineup.
Okay,
as Soxa eventually falls.
They missed like 6 spells in a row there. That is the greatest translocator I have ever seen in my life. It put him in the trees out of sight and they couldn't get to him into the AoE combo of everything else from Tundra. That saved their fight so much. It still kind of went the way of Heroic, but that's with a 13k gold lead. So the fact that you get your Tinker out of there is massive. And we don't even see, like, they win the fight, but they were hoping to kill that Tinker, take a tier 2, maybe even a second tier 2, or hit the tier 3 a little bit, and they don't even push for a tier 2 off of that fight.
They haven't really closed the map more.
Yeah, I mean, that's fantastic. I really expected them to lose all their tier 2s with that first Aegis, at least 2 of them. So it's burned. You've bought yourself more time. Roche won't spawn for at least 2 minutes, and then probably a little bit more.
It's another spike for Heroic, though, right? You're getting this Satanic. You've got this Nullifier. Ag soon for Analog, and Crystallis dead again. He is dead for the 5th time. He is 1 and 5. Yuma gets that kill, and it just seems like so much is on BZM to make this game work.
That's why the fact that he didn't die there is amazing, because this, like you said, it really is a lot on him to keep multiple lanes pushed out.
That's not far enough away. That is a Slither and Crush and another kill here, Analog. Getting this Sand King, and now they're by the tier 2, right? Maybe they get themselves BCM, maybe they get themselves a Tiny, but they'll settle for just a Toby.
BZM.
Again, not taking the buildings, but definitely racking up the gold.
You will now that you got those kills. This is why you head mid, but look, BZM already over there. Used March of the Machines, killed off most of the creep wave.
Oh, BCM! E-Blade, I thought maybe he was going to get hit with a Blink Slithering Crush. He had TP'd right in front of Whisper, but didn't really pay for that. He was the one putting the damage onto the Slardar.
Like, this is the BZM show for Tundra. They need him to dig deep, bend from the knees. He's gotta make so much space for his team. He's got to live in these fights. He's got to do the damage, and it's possible. Tinker is a hero that can do it, especially with the amount of catch Heroic has, but boy, is it tricky, and we are seeing some very close moments. He has to push the limits of what this hero can do if they want to win this game. And if you get caught once, you're going to get punished hard, because you just cannot take this fight without Tinker at all.
Stalis here with the rest of his team, and they start to move away on BZM. He's almost got this BKB. BKB, though, for the side of Tundra, isn't exactly the saving grace, right? You get bashed, it don't matter.
Not when you're 16k behind, but it's still very useful to have so that the Wrath of Nature, the Requiems, they don't do nearly as much.
Sansa, Blink Southern Crush, dead. Gone. Whisper, another kill. Whisper is 7-1-17. I don't believe he died last game. He's having a series.
Yeah, I think he and Spectre did not die in the last game.
Now Analog is on this high ground. And they see him.
Yeah, they're hunting. I actually wouldn't mind if they got a shard on the Nature's Prophet. You don't usually do it if you're carry, but it could help you find the Tinker. Because the Tinker game plan, or the counter Tinker game plan, is that you have to kill him and then you can do things. So you need to keep looking for him like this in the side lanes, which is why BZM is taking the risk, shoving it out. He has to do it, and you have to find him. So far, BZM on the winning exchange of that every single time. They have not managed to kill him yet. Once early in the game, but since then,
it was that solo kill.
Yeah,
it was that Analog solo kill.
Yeah, that one time, but otherwise he has not been found in any of these plays. And if you just watch the minimap, yeah, if you watch the minimap, you'll see why, right? Like, bottom is being pushed out right now. He's going to soon go to another lane, very likely. Right? He gets out. They're looking for him bottom. Here comes the Tusk and the Slardar. Hey, where's this Tinker guy at? Oh, he's in the mid lane. He's shoving that in. Ping him out. Let's head there. Tundra being smart about this.
First, I don't know if this is really what's worth it. It sets up for a Requiem. They're immediately out. That Requiem comes back in. Soxa ends up dead. They were looking for a Chaotic Offering, which they do get off, but they end up losing Toby. Now the Burrow Strike comes through from 33. They've got the damage coming out of the Analog, but he's going to be saved for a moment with the Aphotic Shield coming through. The BKB is going to be popped by Whisper. They get the kill to KG, but there's the Slithering Crush. Down goes 33, but so does Analog. You lose the Shadow Fiend. You lose the Abaddon. You're trying to get Gustavo. Hey, BZM just with a laser right in the face of Schofield. It ends up being a 3-for-2 that favors Tundra in a fight that maybe it looked like they were going to have the counter well enough from Heroic, but it just does not go that way.
Heroic was not expecting that. They smoke into that safe lane jungle, I think expecting Heroic to be looking for the Tinker. So they're trying to meet it head on, find a kill. If you don't, you at least set up for Roche, which now that you won the fight, this one will be yours. So the fight breaks out and Heroic still tries to take it, right? Going on that Abaddon, they just start. But that means Tinker, a little bit north of where we're looking right now, he's pretty free in these fights, so he just starts blasting lasers. Get a really good epicenter here after the BKB is faded on the Shadow Fiend. So this is just a drawn-out fight from Heroic. Oh no!
Coming over again. It's 95% of the work. Crystallis is
sure they would be done with this by now.
33's nearby. KJ running in. Yule's out of the Tinker snowball. Oh no! He just picked up KJ! How does this happen? Again! Oh my, how does this happen again?
Did they not see him? This, I think the sentry they placed is a little too north of the pit because KJ glimmered himself and walked through the bottom, and I thought that would be in range, but maybe it wasn't because he was just in there, and he gets the kill and the 8 is not even a snatch. He kills Roche and takes it.
God. Heroic have done 3% of the work as they try to get BZM, but no, he's got that BKB, and he is going to look for the high 5 TP out. But Heroic have done 5% of the work, have gotten both Aegises. And yeah, like you said, that sentry is a little bit too far. That deeper in that pit, he's not seen.
That's such a disaster. That's so unlucky.
All you can do is laugh, man. It's just unfortunate. But it has to be the BZM show. Like you said, it has to be the BZM show.
He's made it to BKB. It's actually now very hard to kill him because you have to punch him or bash him through the BKB, and he's going to E-blade himself. So it is really tough to get him. But the difference between him and the rest of his team has been growing.
It's a lot. And you're getting to that point where, you've gotten to the point where, I was going to say, certainly he's not. But no, he's level 26. This is the point that we talked about in the draft where Nature's Prophet just kind of like gets 3 items because he can farm so fast around the map. And it starts with Daedalus that he's picked up. He's got the Nullifier. He's going into a Hex that he almost has. Like, the items are already racking up.
Oh, if I tinker this time?
BZM? Ooh. BZM, he used himself. And then BZM got out.
That was a rare mistake there. A very costly one. I mean, we've seen how hard it is to kill Tinker, so I actually don't even know if they would have finished the job, but you might force out his BKB at least, which is pretty good.
Gem given over to the Slardar. 4,000 gold on Yuma at the moment. Crystallis, he is 2 and 5, trying to get into a Butterfly and then a Basher. The thing that is just a little bit rough, and I say this as, you know, it's just the tiny things. It's KJ who's got the Aegis.
That is true. But thinking that, you know, Anti-Mage was going to have it and start split pushing like crazy. Yes. Yeah, you're pretty happy with that. But it does mean, like you said, it's hard to actually push with that Aegis. So what they're trying to do is just farm up Hexes, which, see if Tundra can interrupt before this happens. You want those Hexes to help you kill the Anti-Mage and this Tinker here. BZM making use of all of these tree spots. Aggressive TP from Nature's trying to break smokes.
He is not going to find anybody. Hex almost, you know, it is, he's got the gold. He's got 5,800. They're going to look for Soxa. Requiem's going to be used, and Tinker's going to be in the middle of the pack. He is in trouble. Does he get out this time? No.
Oh, okay.
Analog gets the kill, and that instantly makes this a win for the side of Heroic in the fight.
That's what you've been looking for like 10 minutes. You've been trying to find this Tinker now, and you finally get him.
Since the solo kill.
Oh, that's true.
That was the only other time he died.
You look for Tinker at all points of the game, but this is what they need to finally push up the towers. Great snowball save from the Tusk at the start of that fight. Dodged the Warlock ult, and that allows them to then head over to the Tinker to kill him off, which it was real close. He was at the end of his teleport. He almost made it out of there. Now looking for the Anti-Mage here. Snowball.
Okay, now you're coming back with me, but I'm going to have Yuma ready to go when you get here. Oh, the Snowball actually hit Yuma. Now the blink away. Unfortunate TPing in, but he's got no cooldown on this. And you said you wanted to see that shard on him. He's got it. Shard's thrown by Schofield, and now he's got the Nullifier Walrus Punch, and this is a danger Anti-Mage of dying, and he is killed again. That is the 6th time he's died.
That's why that shard's really useful. Helps you find these heroes that are hiding in the trees. So you killed the Tinker. You stagger that now into the anti-mage kill, which he was trying to split push. You have to, right? You know, oh, Tinker's dead. They're going to try to take our buildings. I got to push out other lanes. But Heroic reads that, gets a kill. So now there's another minute where Tundra is missing a hero. You continue to maintain map pressure. Can he get
He's
Yuma?
got BKB, and he's going to use
got
that
Satanic
to stay alive. He's got the Satanic. They get the kill on Asaxa,
Oh my God.
and they rip up 33. God damn. Just the damage coming
Warlock
in.
just trying to live his life over here.
He's not going to be able to do so. There is no TP cooldown. He is just in your face immediately. By the way, he had saved up 9,000 gold, goes straight into the Bloodthorn, and it packs a punch.
I thought it was going to be the Hex, but I suppose a Silence. Like, the Hex wouldn't pierce the BKB anyways. And you have one on your Slardar, so Bloodthorn will give you more damage to finish the job while he's Hexed. Or to just silence him when he doesn't have BKB. For example...
Oh boy, that's a Tinker that's dead. He's got buyback, but they've kind of mixed up these respawn timers.
You can maybe buy back as the Tiny comes up.
Yeah.
You may have lost your barracks at that point. Okay, one more fortify. If you don't buy back, you will be megged right here, though.
Well, that's going to be a 3-shot
no.
Warlock trying to live his life, not able to do so. He's forced to buy back. And now eventually Tinker will have to buy back. That's what he does with the Burrow Strike landing on a 2. They go to the Snowball. It hits on a 33. The damage is so quick. You never stood a chance. Oh, the Requiem hits Crystallis. He's dead. That's an anti-mage gone. With no buyback 80 seconds, he is going to have to observe the rest of this.
I don't know if there's going to be much observing to do. You have 2 heroes, no buyback, as the last barracks is about to fall here. And then you're going to back because why would you back? Of course you're just going to keep pushing. I don't think you're going to get the respawn.
And they will get the kill there on the Asaxa. That is from half health. He just cleans him up. And now it's all on BZM to show it up. But GG is called heroic. Take down Tundra in a 2-0 fashion. That looked oh so good for them.
This is not the result a lot of people would expect, I think, looking at this. Tundra certainly